You're broke, so don't come around here.
The one hurling insults at me was my former best friend. I felt miserable being insulted in front of my beloved wife, but then the owner of the hotel appeared. My name is Tucker Adamson, just a regular employee working at an advertising agency. Although I'm now able to work normally, things didn't go smoothly to get here. I lost my parents when I was young. I barely have any memories of them since it happened when I was in kindergarten. I've heard it was an unfortunate accident where a truck crashed into our car on the way back from a family outing, as the truck driver was asleep at the wheel. It seems my mother protected me, allowing me to survive. It's sad that I have no memories of my parents, so hearing stories like this doesn't really resonate with me. After my parents passed away, I was raised by my maternal grandparents. When it came to deciding who in the family would take care of me, my kind grandparents volunteered to raise me with love and care. However, raising a child on a pension was quite tough, to be honest. There wasn't much financial flexibility. So, I always dressed in a cheap clogs, and I had no idea about trendy music or TV shows. Still, I was content with this situation. During elementary school, while my friends were playing video games, I would just watch, feeling lonely at times. But growing up feeling the love from my grandparents, I considered them as my parents, and I felt nothing but gratitude and thought myself lucky. However, things started to change when I reached middle school. During conversations with my classmates, I began to be ridiculed for not having a smartphone, mocked for being cool. I couldn't help but see them as people who could only enjoy themselves by doing such things. But when even Monty, whom I considered a best friend since elementary school, joined in mocking me, it was truly painful. Initially, I could endure the bullying, but it escalated day by day, and I became increasingly worn out. Not only was I teased, but my belongings, bought by my grandparents on a tight budget, were vandalized or thrown away. Despite enduring for a while, one morning I suddenly couldn't bring myself to go to school. From then on, I became a shut-in.
If you're having a hard time, you don't have to go to school. There are plenty of other paths out there.
But at that time, their kindness and encouragement only made me feel more suffocated. As I started staying at home all the time, my spirits dwindled day by day. I was disgusted with myself for not being able to go to school. Seeing me like this, my grandparents bought me a computer from their pension. I started by using social media. This was clearly a failed attempt. It was easy to find my classmates' accounts. They all posted about their fulfilling days, and I couldn't help but compare myself to them, feeling inferior. Especially when I found out that Monty had enrolled in one of the top prestigious schools in the city. At that moment, I felt not just regret, but an overwhelming sense of bitterness to the point of tears. But it wasn't all bad. Thanks to this computer, I was able to meet my beloved wife. Although I became a shut-in, I managed to enter a high school and took a correspondence course from. I felt like I should get my high school diploma, but more than anything, I felt guilty towards my grandparents. Still, I didn't need to commute to school every day, so, in terms of being a shut-in, my daily life remained unchanged. I still spent my days idly tinkering with the computer. One day, while browsing an online forum, I met a girl. She was the same age as me and also a shut-in, so we hit it off, sharing our struggles and even exchanging contact information. Her name is Mercy. True to her name, she is a girl with a kind heart. Just being the same age made me feel close to her, so I started emailing her. Mercy seemed to be free, as she always replied to my emails promptly. We started exchanging emails frequently. We talked about various things, like today's weather or stories about annoying people from the past. Mercy's emails were full of emoticons and emojis, giving off a warm and fuzzy vibe. I also tried using them imitating her, but ended up being laughed at because they didn't suit me. It was trivial, but feeling connected to someone made me feel really fulfilled. As I spent those days, I started to develop a desire to meet Mercy. But she lived far away, and above all, I'm too uncool right now. I'm just a shut-in who spends all the time tinkering with a computer. Who would want to meet a guy like me? Still, if I were to meet her, I wanted to be at least somewhat decent, and I made up my mind to get a part-time job. Since I had plenty of time as a shut-in, I was easily hired. My first job was in the kitchen at a family restaurant. There was a lot to learn, and honestly, it was tougher physical labor than I had anticipated. Due to being a shut-in, I lacked physical strength, and I ended up exhausted every day. I made plenty of mistakes and probably caused a lot of trouble for my coworkers. But the people at work were supportive and nice, and I made some like-minded friends even though I disliked school. This was an unexpected bonus. Working hard and earning a paycheck, I finally got a cell phone plan. And after getting permission via email, I made my first call to Mercy. I was nervous, wondering what her voice would sound like and if I could speak without stuttering.
Hello, is this Tucker?
Her voice was so cute that I couldn't stop my heart from pounding. Looking back now, I probably sounded really creepy to others around me. But there was nothing I could do about it. I was just that nervous. I told Mercy about starting a part-time job thanks to her and about getting along with my coworkers. Mercy responded, seeming pleased yet somewhat lonely. The next day and the day after that, I called her. Just talking to her over the phone brought color to the monochrome days. Already, Mercy had become a huge support for me.
We've been talking on the phone every day for a week. Am I bothering you, Tucker? You have started working part-time, so you're not a shut-in anymore.
I was taken aback. There was no way she could be a bother. If anything, I worried that I might be bothering her by calling so much. I was actually disappointed in myself for causing such worry. I told her that I was able to keep going because of her support and that I wanted to use the money I earned from work to meet her.
Thank you.
Her voice seemed to tremble slightly. Although I lived in New York City, Mercy lived in Philadelphia. For adults, it might seem like a distance that they could go anytime, but for a high school student like me, it felt like she lived really far away. The day I promised to meet Mercy quickly arrived. I dressed as stylishly as I could, considering it was my idea of maximum fashion. It was my first time meeting Mercy. I couldn't afford to make a big mistake. I rode an Amtrak, spending nearly 2 hours on the train. After passing through the ticket gate at the destination station, I finally met Mercy for the first time. She had come all the way to the station to meet me. A girl with a gentle aura immediately caught my eye. That was Mercy, I could tell right away. Mercy was a cute girl with fair skin and large eyes that were characteristic. I had imagined she might be somewhat cute, but I ended up thinking she was incredibly pretty. I couldn't keep staring at her eyes, feeling embarrassed to make eye contact. For the time being, we decided to go to a nearby coffee shop and talk. Mercy spoke in the same quiet and soothing manner as she did on the phone, and it really calmed me down.
It's so nice of you to come all the way here. I got nervous when you said you were coming to see me.
Realizing that we were both nervous made me feel a little more at ease. I started going to see Mercy once a month. Every time we met up, I had a lot of fun discovering new sides of Mercy. In our meetings, we started talking about the future. Mercy mentioned that she was considering going to college to study the art she loved. This surprised me. Honestly, I hadn't thought much about the future. Without realizing it, I found myself genuinely respecting Mercy for thinking seriously about her future. She aimed to attend an art school in New York. Of course, I expressed my support, and I began considering going to college myself, but I didn't have the academic background for it. Taking the college entrance exam was quite a hurdle, but it seemed like going to college was the best option. Above all, I wanted to be the kind of guy who could stand by Mercy's side. Ultimately, with her encouragement, I started studying for the college entrance exams. During the exam period, I stopped visiting Mercy and only called her once a week. Studying high school subjects on my own was quite challenging, but the weekly phone calls motivated me to study hard. And both Mercy and I passed the college entrance exams successfully, and Mercy ended up living alone in New York. Mercy had achieved her goal of being accepted to an art school she had hoped for. I thought she might be a genius. I enrolled in the business department of a private university. We celebrated each other's success, and I confessed my feelings to Mercy. Blushing, she nodded in agreement. I couldn't sleep that night because I was so happy. The rest of our school lives went smoothly. On days off, I often visited Mercy's apartment. I think we spent the last days of our student life happily. Mercy's sense of art was quite high, and the illustrations she posted on social media during her studies went viral, leading her to freelance work. After graduating from college, I joined an advertising agency. I was able to secure a job offer at a place where I could get a decent salary nearby. Our careers were both going well. I approached my work sincerely and gained the trust of my colleagues and superiors, gradually being entrusted with more significant tasks day by day. As for Mercy, her illustrations continued to go viral on social media. She received occasional media interviews and became famous in the art community. It may sound like bragging, but watching Mercy made me feel like I had to work hard, as she was active in the forefront from home. Above all, I was proud that such a person was my girlfriend. After 1 year of employment, although I thought it might be a little early, I proposed to her. We didn't have enough savings for a big celebration, so it ended up being a modest one at home, but Mercy was very happy and nodded eagerly. And in the 2nd year of employment, we had a child. It was a cute girl who resembled Mercy. At that moment, I felt that everything in my life had been rewarded. One day, during the blissful days of happiness, we decided to celebrate our anniversary by staying at a luxurious hotel. Considering our earnings, I felt somewhat guilty because Mercy was clearly making more money. But Mercy says it's all thanks to me. Absolutely not. I might sound like a lovesick fool, but my entire life has been made possible thanks to Mercy. As I was leisurely spending time in the lobby of the luxury hotel with my goddess, I was approached by someone. I flinched at the suddenness of it all. That voice sounds familiar in a bad way. When I cautiously turned around, there was Monty, the guy who used to bully me. I wanted to say something, but flashbacks of that time overwhelmed me, and I couldn't utter a word.
Are you with this guy? He used to get bullied back in middle school, you know? Always had cheap stuff. Didn't even have a phone. And cutting his own hair. It was really funny.
Listening to Monty talking to Mercy, I felt miserable. It felt like he was intruding on my sacred space. I felt dizzy with anger. If possible, I didn't want to introduce Mercy to such a guy. Mercy seemed to sense my feelings and ignored Monty, instead taking my hand and leading me away from there. I thought again that she was a wonderful wife. Monty seemed to be shouting something from behind, but I ignored him. We as a family headed to a guest room. The room was fantastic, with an American-style design befitting a luxury hotel. Upon entering the room, my heart felt at ease, and we enjoyed some family time. Mercy was very excited, talking about drawing pictures with an American theme next time. After a while, it was time for dinner, so we headed to the restaurant in the hotel. I had a bad feeling about it, but sure enough, Monty showed up. Despite being in a semi-private room, Monty brazenly entered our private room.
Hey, Mrs., what do you see in this guy? He was so poor in middle school. It's a shame you ended up marrying a poor guy. Tucker, how cheeky you come to a luxury hotel. You should go back home.
What's wrong with you? We don't want anything to do with an emotionally impoverished person who can only gain satisfaction from such remarks.
But Monty seemed unaffected by her words and continued to hurl insults at me. I was so angry that I felt like punching Monty right then and there. But Mercy and our baby were here. I absolutely couldn't do such a thing, so I desperately held myself back. At that moment, the owner of the hotel appeared with a cake. Upon noticing that, Monty tried to walk away to leave. In that moment, he turned around and collided with the owner. As a result, the cake collided with Monty's face, propelled by the collision.
Hey, what's this? Are you the owner here? Please kick these guys out.
I should be saying that to you. What's your deal since earlier?
The owner's response seemed unexpected to Monty, and he appeared surprised with a slight furrow of his brows.
You're not staying here, are you? Breaking in and insulting customers. I could file a complaint, you know?
At this point, I realized that Monty wasn't staying at the hotel. I was genuinely disgusted.
Is it okay? These guys probably can't even pay, right? I mean, this guy is poor.
Listen here. This customer is a benefactor to us. She's been designing our souvenirs. Our sales have more than doubled since last year because her illustrated sweets cans has been hugely popular.
In fact, this hotel had a connection with Mercy's work, and that's why we were staying here this time as well. This fact seemed to frustrate Monty even more. Enough already. Stop walking around with that dirty face. Just go home. My voice attracted the attention of the other customers, and they started murmuring. Monty couldn't bear the situation anymore and left, shouting desperately at the top of his lungs.
I apologize for the inconvenience with the cake. I'll prepare a new one right away.
Why did he come here when he wasn't even staying?
Who knows? It's pointless to think about such a guy.
Afterward, thanks to the owner's kindness, we were able to enjoy a happy time as a family without any further interruptions.
Despite being regular patrons, I sincerely apologize for allowing such a person into this establishment. This is our mistake. As an apology, please enjoy this cake. I believe you'll find it even more delicious than what you originally ordered.
The hotel didn't do anything wrong, so I ended up feeling more apologetic than anything.
Looks delicious. Let's enjoy this special cake since they are so kind.
Monty being sent away and us being able to enjoy this service is all thanks to Mercy, really. Thank you again.
What are you talking about?
I think I'll never be able to match Mercy. A few days later, when I went back home, I received a letter addressed to me. To my surprise, it was from Monty. I wasn't particularly interested in what he had to say at this point, but I decided to read it just in case. The letter said the following:
I've regretted bullying you for so long. Because when my bullying was exposed in high school, I ended up isolated. It made me realize that karma is real. Even though I graduated from a prestigious university and landed a job at a top company, I've always lacked confidence. At times, I convinced myself that you were living a lonely life, and that made me feel better about myself. Yes, I've looked down on you and felt superior, thinking I was happier than you. But when I saw you happily enjoying life during your trip, I couldn't bear it, so I interfered. I've been tormenting you for years, and I'm truly sorry.
Monty must have written this letter sincerely, but I couldn't help feeling that he wasn't truly reflecting on his actions, and there was no way I would forgive him.
Wasn't he suffering too? Even if you can't forgive him now, maybe someday you'll be able to talk to him again.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I can forgive him. But if Mercy says so, I want to let go of the hatred. And from now on, I've resolved to prioritize my family's happiness, Mercy and our baby, and live happily ever after.